Hi, everybody. Fernanda Machado here, and I'm with a special guest, Nirmal.
Nice to meet you, everyone.
Please, Nirmal, tell us about your role, what you do at AWS.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you, Fernanda. Thanks for having me. I'm Nirmal Mehta. I'm a principal specialist solution architect at AWS, and I focus on container serverless and modern application, and specifically focusing on observability. That's what we're going to talk about briefly today.
Amazing. Observability is one of my preferred topics.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
what a
good.
Surprise.
Yeah, good. So tell me, what are you excited about observability? How do you help customers with that team? So just for us to understand exactly what do you do and how you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. So observability is a foundational component to running successful systems in the cloud, right, for all of our customers. So it's critical to getting observability right for our customers to be successful. And around that is working backwards from their stakeholders, helping them figure out an observability strategy, figuring out what matters to them, and then figuring out what solutions can support them to find the metrics, the logs, the traces, the telemetry to support those key performance indicators and the observability solutions they need to successfully run in the cloud. And that drives me every day. Just removing the toil, removing the pain points from our customers, and observability is the center for that.
Okay, got it. And what is your advice to make a successful implementation of this observability strategy? How do you help define the metrics? What kind of metrics to implement?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to work backwards. Working backwards from the people that are using your system, your customers, your stakeholders, the people in your business. Work backwards from that to identify what matters most. The most important telemetry, the most important key performance indicators, and from there, establish a observability strategy and solution that can support providing that in a dashboard, alarming on it, and providing actions for each of those metrics so that you know what you need to do if they go over a threshold. And by doing that, you start this thing called the observability virtuous cycle, and supporting better and better user experience for your customers or your end users. And over time, you also achieve going from a reactive state, right? So something happens in your system, and then scrambling to figure out what's going on, to a proactive state. The system is telling you that something might be going on. You're observing it, and you can react. You can proactively change the system to adapt.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, that's what I help customers do, and I'm excited to talk a little bit more about some of the solutions and new services and features that are coming out at this reInvent.
Oh, good.
Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, just show us the information. What's going on in the observability world of AWS?
Yeah, so around containers especially, we're seeing new features focused on observability for containers.
Okay.
And one of the newest ones that was released at KubeCon North America a few weeks ago is enhanced container insights.
Oh, nice.
So this is a new dashboard, some new CloudWatch container insights specifically for EKS clusters. It's a multi-cluster view and allows you to dig into control plane metrics, your workload metrics, services metrics, pods, containers, and in an easy way with fresh new dashboards, and also comes with a new EKS add-on called AWS Observability.
Okay.
So all you have to do is deploy this add-on on your cluster, and you get these new container insights dashboards right away. So it's kind of a one-click experience for observability of your EKS clusters. Which is awesome.
Perfect. And what's the main difference between that one and with the container insights from CloudWatch?
So this is Container Insights for CloudWatch. It's an improved version. It's enhanced. So they rolled out a new, a complete revamp of it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And what do I need to do if I want to get hands-on of these?
Yeah, so all you have to do is in your EKS cluster is to go to your EKS add-ons. You can go through the API or the EKS console. There's a new AWS Observability add-on. You just have to enable that. That will install a new CloudWatch agent onto your cluster, and it automatically start feeding those metrics to this new enhanced container insights.
Oh, super.
Which is awesome.
Oh, amazing. Cool. What else? What else do we have?
Yeah, the other thing that was just released, I think yesterday, is, and that would be just yesterday, is a new Amazon managed Prometheus collector. And This is a agentless way of collecting Prometheus metrics from any endpoint that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Not specifically, it doesn't have to be EKS, but typically that's where we see Prometheus style metrics being published. And with this new collector, it's a managed scraper, essentially, managed Prometheus scraper. So you don't have to run AWS distro for OpenTelemetry. You don't have to have an agent on your cluster. You can use this new feature, turn it on, give it a scrape config, tell it what endpoints, and it'll automatically start scraping those Prometheus metrics into AMP. And that you can see through Grafana dashboard or whatever else you want to use it for. Which is awesome.
So super cool. And does it also work with Amazon ECS, or it's only EKS specific?
It's any Prometheus endpoint. So anything that's publishing Prometheus style metrics that can be scraped. So that could be, an EC2 instance that's providing an endpoint. It could be EKS environment, a control plane, or it could be an ECS task that if you're exposing Prometheus style metrics, you can configure it to scrape them.
Got it. What else? What else do you have?
Yeah, the last one, big one that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a while is we have the AWS distro for OpenTelemetry, and that is a supported version of the upstream OpenTelemetry project.
Oh, nice.
And earlier this year, that upstream project in the open source, they added support for log style telemetry, and really recently, last week, the AWS distro for OpenTelemetry now supports logs generally available. So that means that you can use the AWS distro for OpenTelemetry collector to collect metrics, traces, and logs.
And logging. Super.
So that means you can have that one agent collecting all different types of telemetry in your environment.
Cool. And what are the steps to get that installed, and how I can get hands-on with this?
Yeah, so the place to go for that is the AWS distro for OpenTelemetry documentation, where we have now provided a log aggregating tool, feature, and then also the exporter to CloudWatch logs. And so there's documentation on that site on how you can configure the new AWS distro for OpenTelemetry, the latest version for collecting logs and then sending them to CloudWatch logs, for example.
Okay, cool. When helping some developers through their modernization, or even when they are building cloud-native applications, I've noticed that they're looking for best practices. So what are the AWS resources that you recommend for them to go and look into those practices?
Yeah, so earlier this year, we created a new AWS Observability best practices.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of great content there. So we can provide links in some fashion for the viewers of this. If you Google for it, you can find it. But in there, we have guides for EKS, ECS, serverless, different AWS distro for OpenTelemetry. We have patterns around how to create an observability strategy, what metrics to look at for applications, and guidance. There's a lot of great content there, and it's very active. So I would highly recommend checking out the AWS Observability Best Practices Guide for the best practices for your workloads on ECS, EKS, and serverless. The serverless one, shout out to Rahul. He just published a serverless best practices guide for observability there. So, best practices around Lambda logs, tracing, correlation IDs, etc.
Oh, super cool. Amazing, Nirmal. Amazing news for us. In terms of attending the reInvent this week here, so do you recommend any specific session or breakout session that we can watch offline?
Yeah, so Rahul, who I just mentioned, he's doing a session on testing Lambda.
Oh, testing. Oh, super cool. And this is so hard to implement.
Yes, and testing is related to observability for sure, right? You want to make sure that you can test your architectures and then observe them for sure, and that's related there. There's also a session on creating an observability strategy.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so check out the recording for that when it comes out. I'm not sure when, but if you're right now in the process of figuring out your observability strategy, you're in that reactive state and you want to get to a proactive state, check out the observability strategy session from me.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here with us, sharing all of your knowledge. And for all of you, Keep connected and follow our news. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it took